All right, let's talk about something that, let's be honest, we all deal with. Making those big, important, and sometimes really, really difficult changes in our lives. It's all about going from just wanting something different to actually making it happen.
I mean, does this feel familiar? I think for most of us, it really does. You've got this feeling, this urge for things to be different. Maybe you want to feel less anxious or get back to doing things you used to love. But that path from where you are now to where you want to be just feels kind of foggy, right? Like, where do you even begin?
And that's exactly where this idea comes in. Think about the change you want to make like you're building a house. You wouldn't just start nailing up the roof, would you? No way. You'd start by pouring a super solid foundation. So everything we're about to cover, that's your groundwork. That's the strong base you need to build everything else on top of. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the foundation for change itself, and then jump right into step 1, getting crystal clear on your problems. From there, we'll talk about setting goals you can actually manage, and then we'll tackle the big one, mastering your motivation. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with the key takeaways you can start using, like today.
Okay, first things first. Before you can build anything new, you gotta know the lay of the land. And that means getting really, truly clear about the problems you've been experiencing. Now, this isn't about getting bogged down in negativity. Not at all. It's about getting some much-needed clarity.
So why is this so important? Well, think about it. If you don't know your exact starting point, how on earth will you know if you're heading in the right direction? This step focuses all your energy so you're not just spinning your wheels, but actually making real, measurable progress toward the life you want.
And to get the ball rolling, the source material gives us some really fantastic questions to ask ourselves. Just take a second with these. Have your emotions, maybe anxiety or sadness, been causing trouble? Have you found yourself giving up hobbies you used to love? Answering these honestly is what helps you pinpoint exactly what needs your attention. And this is so important. This process, it's not meant to make you feel bad. It's actually the complete opposite. The very second you can name the problem, you're taking this huge step toward getting control back. You're not fighting some vague, shadowy monster anymore. You're tackling a specific, defined challenge. And that's empowering.
All right, so the foundation is poured. Now it's time to start putting up the frame of the house. Once you know the problem, the very next step is to turn those fuzzy hopes for the future into a rock-solid, actionable plan.
Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. I want to be less anxious well, it's a wish, right? How do you even measure that? But I want to be able to take public transportation and drive over bridges. Now that is a goal. You know exactly what success looks like. Same thing with I want to be happier. Turn that into an action, like rejoining a book club, and suddenly you have a clear target to aim for. Now, even a specific goal can feel huge. It can feel totally overwhelming. And that's where a simple tool like this becomes your best friend. The whole point is to take that big, scary goal and just chop it up into smaller, bite-sized pieces. It makes the entire thing feel so much more doable. And here's how it works. It's a really simple 3-part process. First, you write down that problem you just clarified. Easy enough. Second, you set that concrete, super specific goal. And third, and this is the key, you break it down. What are the smaller individual steps to get there? Every single one of those little steps is a win. It keeps you moving forward. So you've defined your problem, you've broken down your goals, you are ready to go. But what happens on those days when you just don't feel like it? Yeah, let's talk about motivation. Because understanding how it really works is absolutely critical for any kind of long-term success. I just love this quote because it's so freeing, isn't it? If you've ever been on fire one day, totally motivated, and then felt completely flat the next, guess what? You're not broken, you're not failing. That is just how motivation works for literally everyone. It comes and it goes. It's a resource we have to learn to manage.
So, how do you manage it? Well, one of the most powerful tools out there is something called a decisional balance. It's a super simple but really profound exercise. It forces you to look at your decision from every angle by weighing the pros and cons, not just of changing, but also of staying exactly the same. And this is what the form looks like. It's nothing fancy, right? Just 4 boxes. But filling these out forces you to be honest with yourself in a way that can be a total game changer. You're looking at the good stuff about changing, the hard stuff about changing, the good stuff about staying the same, and of course, the costs of staying the same. And check out this example. It makes it so clear. Okay, a pro of changing. I'll be able to fly to my niece's wedding. Amazing. A con? Yeah, this is going to be hard work. Now let's get real about staying the same. A pro, or a benefit,
It's easier to just avoid feeling uncomfortable. True, but what's the cost? I will continue to be limited in my daily life. Whoa. Seeing it all laid out like that, that's where the clarity comes from.
And this is the real secret. This isn't a one-and-done worksheet you file away. No, this becomes your go-to tool. On those days when you feel your motivation tanking, you pull this out. You remind yourself why you started this in the first place. It reconnects you to your deepest reasons for wanting something different. All right, let's bring it all home. We've laid the foundation, we put up the frame. Now let's just step back and look at the simple but incredibly powerful framework we've just walked through.
Here it is, in a nutshell, your 3-step foundation. Number 1, clarify your problems so you can get control. Number 2, set manageable goals so you can turn those wishes into an actual plan. And number 3, master your motivation by using tools like the decisional balance to always stay connected to your why. This isn't just theory, this is a practical roadmap.
So, I'll leave you with this one last question. Forget about the whole giant journey for just a second. Based on everything we just talked about, what's one tiny, manageable step you can take right now to start building that foundation for yourself?